All right, we are recording. I know we have like 40 seconds till 10 o'clock, but so obviously, if you're in a loud place, to provide minimal distractions, you want to mute yourself. So go ahead and mute yourself on the microphone. And then if you want to talk or answer or have a question or want to answer something, just obviously unmute yourself. Super easy. Uh-oh, geez Louise. Now what? Now I'm in the wrong. How about now? You see one screen, right? Okay, good. I don't know why I just did this whole thing for an hour. It's still awesome. Okay, obviously if you're having any problems with your picture, you can go ahead and check out the boxes below. All right, so there's some background noise. So go ahead and mute yourself if you're in a loud place, if you're shuffling papers, if you have kids, all that stuff. We can hear all of that. So tonight, we're going to get started at 10 o'clock. So welcome to our week number 3, Director Bound. This is host coaching. So my name is Christina Maniscalco. A little bit about me. I live in Norfolk, Virginia. I'm an advanced director with Pembroke Chef, and I actually have 4 directors in my downline. I've been with Pembroke Chef for 8 years, and I quit my day job 3 years ago to do Pembroke Chef full-time. So I did have a full-time job. I worked at a law firm for 10 years, and I quit back in 2013 to do this full-time. So this is my gig. I do about 3 to 4 parties a week, and I love it. Super fun. And I get a great paycheck. So that's why I do Pembroke Chef. So anybody have anything they want to share, any good news from last week, since your last call with your directors? Anybody have any good news? You guys are super quiet. Well, because you're muted, right? All right. No, nobody wants to share?
Come on, don't be shy.
Who's that? I can't see.
It's Crystal. I'm telling them to not be shy.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi there.
I wish I could see your face. Where? I see Genevieve. Hi, Genevieve. Your hair's looking super cute today.
Thank you. I just got a cut. You're so nice.
Oh, I could tell, girl. I know all about the hair.
You're so cute. Crystal, did you get a new laptop that we can actually see your picture now?
Hardy har har. I have a camera for my computer now.
Oh, you're so grown up. I love it.
I love it. Okay, guys, so this was homework from last week. This is what we did with our team. I'm sure kind of follows around the same lines with you guys. But did you booking lines for the welcome, guest interaction, shop and share with another person in the group or 2 other people? Did you practice any of that from last week? The host coach, or from the week, you guys are 2 weeks before. So anything with the bookings out and about or bookings at your parties? Getting lots of like blank faces. Okay, maybe not. What about, did anybody observe a strong seller show in the last 2 weeks? Anybody go to somebody else's party? No? Yes? Maybe? Okay. Well, I will say that.
I did last night.
You did?
I did.
Yay! Okay, so tell me one huge takeaway that you took from that party.
I think my biggest takeaway was I can't get so set in my ways and how I do things, and I can really just let it roll, and that's what she does, and it made the flow so much better.
Yes, people will do a party with you when they're having fun. They don't care about the products. They don't care about any of that stuff. They want to have fun. And most of my parties, they want to drink. I'm drinking water tonight, everyone. I just want to let you guys all know that, because people always think I'm drinking, but I'm not. I'm just.
I wouldn't judge you if you were.
I'm just happy at 10 o'clock at night. No, but that's true. Like a lot of times, you just have to roll the punches, because not every party is exactly the same. And if you are a controlling your party, it could be super stressful for everybody involved. So if you just roll with it and have fun, not everything has to be exactly the way it should be when you do a party. So it's good. And for you to acknowledge that, that's awesome. So way to go. You're already growing. Okay, there's a lot of background. So if you have some background, just go ahead and mute yourself. No biggie. Just go ahead and do that. Somebody's cleaning up their kitchen. I don't want to mute everybody. That would be boring. Okay, well, I might have to. Okay, anyway, anybody else observe any strong shows? Okay, well, I will say that there's a lot of videos on Consultants Corner, and YouTube is my best friend. So you can go to YouTube, type in Pampered Chef Consultant, and tons of things pop up. So if you ever want to see anybody's party, I'm sure they're out there. You can check them out. Or call somebody on your I just challenged my team to go ahead and use the search feature on our website and find somebody in their area that is not on our team and call them and say, hey, can I come to your next party? Why not, right? We all will learn from each other. And you never know, that person might learn from our consultant as well. So it's super fun. Okay, did anybody take contacts this past week or outside of the party? Did anybody make any contacts while out and about at a vendor event? Anybody do a vendor event? Those are awesome contacts. Yes, you did. Okay, I see some hands. I see a husband. Oh, no. I see somebody. Okay, awesome. All right, did anybody fill out their 90-day tracker and call your director after every party? Anybody do that? Yes. Oh, 2 for 2. I can only see 4 people. So if the rest of you are raising your hand, oh, there we go. Let's change my. Okay, here we go. I'll stay on this screen. Okay, cool. All right. And then did anybody take the Bookings Abound training course on Consultants Corner or PCU? Anybody do that? All right. You guys are a lively bunch. All right, let's see if my doesn't work. I don't know what I did from the last one. Okay, so obviously tonight is about host coaching. So I'm going to go old school, new school, all sorts of stuff with host coaching tonight. So I hope you can pick up what I'm throwing down, keep up. I'll go slow if you want me to. Ask questions, raise your hands. I don't know how to answer hands that are raised, but just shout at me and say, hey, I have a question. All right, so I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff, but host coaching is the lifeblood of your business, okay? It's really the lifeline of our business, along with obviously bookings, but you're not going to get more bookings unless your host coaching is really good, because if your host coaching is lagging or lacking, or is probably a better word, you're probably not getting the amount of people you want at your shows, you're not getting the sales you want at your shows, and you're not getting more bookings at your shows. So host coaching and really telling your host what you expect, what you want, what you need to get out of their party for their benefit, because remember, it's always about the host, is really going to help your business amazingly. So it flows through every aspect of your thriving business. What to know where your booking leads and sales are, look at your host coaching. So if you want to know where your bookings, your leads, and your sales are, look at your host coaching. Everything, and I do mean everything in the business after you book your first 6 parties revolves around host coaching. Okay? So the first question I want to ask you guys is, would you rather, this is always fun, leave your house for $50 or $200 in commissions? $200, right? Everybody say $200.
$200.
$200, Christina.
Yay! I want some money. Okay, so host coaching is where, have you guys ever heard of this saying, host coaching is where you earn your paycheck and then your show is where you pick it up? It's true, because if you don't host coach, there's nobody at your show, right? If you don't host coach, the sales aren't there, the bookings aren't there, the recruits aren't there. So this is why you need to talk to your host, whether it's Facebook, texting, phone calls, emails, whatever the case may be, Starbucks, my fave, or even over a glass of wine. You just never know. As long as you're talking to your host, you will get that paycheck. Okay? I don't know what I hit on my computer, but I have to like do them manually now. Okay, so let's start with something easy. So what do you guys put in your host packet? Do you guys put these things in your host packet, or some of them, or all of them, or anything else that you put in there that isn't on the list? Everybody puts all those things in there, maybe, sort of, maybe. Host folder, maybe you're not using the host folder. Maybe you're using, there's actually a flyer you could print offline. Some catalogs, at least 2 or 3. Your host and guest specials, or do you email them? Order forms, how are they going to take orders? Host info letter, so do you have a letter for your host? You're just using the folder, which is totally fine. Do you give them mini catalog invites, or winter flyer invites, or postcard invites? And then do you give them a join us, or whatever the heck this thing is called now? Life Tastes Great, this thing right here. Do you give them one of those? Do you let them know what is in it for them if they wanted to join? Anything else? Okay, I don't think we good?
Christina, I had the coupon too.
Yes.
Coupon.
That is good. Yes, the coupon. I think I have one right here. Oh no, I have $10 bills. That's fun too. You can offer like a $10 rebate at your show if you want. Yeah, the host kit coupon. That's really good. So first we're going to talk about kind of what Consultants Corner and what Pampered Chef kind of has out there for host coaching, and then we'll talk about what we really do for host coaching.
Hey, Christina.
Yeah.
One of the things, just to add to the host packet, one of the things that I started doing a few years ago that works really well is I have a sheet in there, and it's a little note to the host, and it just basically says, we're going to have a great party together, and I want you to create a big wish list. And so I give her a sheet of little star stickers, like little teacher star stickers, and I tell her to star up the catalog with all of her wish list items. And they love that, and then it also makes the checkout really easy because they already know what they want, and they're not flipping through the catalog and keeping you on the phone for an hour.
That's good. I love that idea. There's so many great ideas.
I put a, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can see you too.
Hi. I've been putting one of the 2017 calendars in there as a host gift and a thank you note, a little card.
That's awesome. Yay, I love that. Thanking them before the party even happens. That's amazing. Anybody else? Those are great. Okay. So what do we do immediately upon booking the party? So if you want to learn what Consultants Corner says, you can go to Training Resources, Director Bound, Consultant Resources. Go to week number 3, and it's all about host coaching, and there's 3 little things there, and we're going to kind of cover some of those tonight. So you can ask your new host, what they loved about the party, because you want to make sure you do that again at their party. Right? You want to find out what they loved and make sure you can do that again or recreate that at their party. Maybe they love the fajitas. Well, go ahead and do that at their party. It'll be super easy. Or maybe they love the station style over the demo part. Whatever they've liked, you want to learn about it. What products are they most excited about, and what's at the top of their wish list? Do you want to ask them, hey, what is the product that you really want to get for free or discounted at your party? Or what is your favorite product in the catalog that you can't afford? Well, that is going to be their go-to number 1 reason why they're hosting the party, right? What's in it for them? So I always tell my team, you have to have a goal or you don't know where you're going, right? Well, the host has to have a goal or they don't know why they're hosting the party. They're going to cancel their party. They're going to reschedule it, whatever they're going to do, because they don't have anything invested into it. But if they know, oh my gosh, I'm going to get a double burner grill pan from this chick that's going to come and cook fajitas in my kitchen for my 10 friends, I'm stoked, right? So you got to make sure they know what's in it for them. Ask them if you are the type of person that is going to do the invitations for them, ask them for their guest list within 48 hours. You can also share the importance of a personal invitation and how to make the phone calls to make them personally invite their guests, how important that is. Also, ask your host what the best ways to communicate with them. Do they Facebook? Do they text? Do they email? Do they actually talk on the phone. So what's the best way? Explain that you'll be calling them within the next day to talk about planning the party. Make a 24-hour call. Pampered Chef actually just did this whole what's new to me at least, this whole training on the 24-hour call after you book the party, what to say, what to do. And they have all the wording on our website under that training and resources director bound consultant resources. And then under the director bound, it's in there. So lots of information. Okay, so what do we do when we start host coaching? At the party, when you book the show, here are some steps. Let me get rid of this. So here's step 1 to host coaching. Make sure your host writes in her own information into your calendar, okay? So it's a really great way to have them have ownership of the party. When they write down the date on your calendar, they are really taking ownership of that date, okay? So this is just a really fun way to kind of get them to write all their information, and it's the NEAT acronym. So you need their name, their email, address, and telephone. So obviously this is my calendar. I do not have the NEAT acronym on there, but I will starting in 2017. But as you can see, all those names are totally different handwriting because they do write their own name in there and they write the time, which is normally 6:30. So questions to ask them when they're booking their party. Are you on Facebook? Do you text? What's the best time to call you or reach you? So these are all questions that you need to know to set her up. Write down a T next to her phone number if she likes to text. If she's on Facebook, take out your phone right then and there and friend request her or him. If the party's within the next 2 months, go ahead and give them a packet and host coach them their first call or their first whatever you want to tell them right there in person. It's going to be huge. Coaching right there, right away, is much more effective and powerful. They're going to remember you. They're going to remember how excited they are. And don't worry about the line and all that stuff at the party. Just coach them. It's going to be fine. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, good. Super. Moving on. So show me the money, right? After you talk the basics, you want to get into some details about what to expect. You can circle the $1,000 show level on the actual folder. It's on the inside of the folder. And then also the higher and write the goal of 25 orders, 15 people at the and 10 outside orders. So you can highlight the start your own business section, which is on the back of the folder. And you can explain that to get 25 orders, you have to invite at least 40 people. Because 20 people may say yes, 10 to 15 may show up. And if you get 10 outside orders from the 25 who can't make it, then that is almost always a $1,000 party. So show them the money in the numbers. A lot of people are like, oh, I only need to invite 10 people. Yeah, well, you're going to have one person there and it's going to be me. So make sure they know why they need to invite 40 people and show them the numbers. Okay? All right. Also a wish list. Remember, explain why there's 3 catalogs in their folder. One of them is to highlight everything that they want and desire. Have them come through, make a huge list like Genevieve said. Give them stickies. Give them fun stuff to make a list because they will need to know each add-on to their kitchen by the time you're done getting them all their free stuff, right? So the other capacity and worker orders, and also you want to give them a direct order link and share that with their friends and family through eBite or text. So tell them, hey, I'm going to text you an invite and I'm going to text you an order link. You could forward that to your friends and family through text and email or on Facebook. Super easy. Okay, so invitations is next. So there's a lot of different ways to do invitations. So show of hands, or if you guys want to shout out, who sends out the invitations for their guests or for their hosts? Anybody? Okay, I see a couple hands. Crystal, yeah? Okay.
I do 50-50.
50-50. Okay, that's fun. Okay. Anybody else? There's a lot of you on here. That's fun.
No.
No? Okay. I personally don't, but I do know a lot of people have a lot of success with doing it. So if you want to provide the service of sending out the invites, you can always say to the host, I'll be sending you a template. So you can send me the addresses of all your guests. I need the labels back by whatever date, normally within 3 days. Even if the show is further out, you want to have those labels sooner so you have them. You can also tell them that you'll be setting up a page for them on the website, and that you'll be setting up a Facebook event. So be sure to add all your guests in the show page and invite all their friends on Facebook, near and far. You can use the template on Consultants Corner for all your invitation needs. So right here, I have a little screenshot of where to find the invitation template if you decide to do it. So you can go to my shows and then the show planning materials and then printable labels, and the information is right there. There's instructions, there's all the stuff you need to send to your host to have them send it back. But I will say that feature up there with the little magnifying glass that says enter keyword or product number, I use that every single day for searching for things. So you can just simply type in invitation, and every invitation for every kind of show theme, anything you want to know about, any kind of invitation will pop up. So that's a really great way to get other invitations as well. Okay, so more on invitations. This is what I do for invitations. So this is just my personal, what I do. You may do something more or less. But the key is you have to do more than one, okay? I would say you have to do more than 3. But you want to set up their party on your website, obviously, and email them the host email from Humor Chef. If you guys are in the party, some of you may not even know it's out there, but there's a little tab. It says host. And there's an email right there, host email. Just email them everything. It's already done. You just hit send. It's super simple. And then they can send out their invitations from their website. I also create a Facebook event and add the hosts, and then she can add all of her friends near and far, because I create an actual, even for live cooking shows, I also do a virtual, the actual Facebook event the time of the party that I'm there. So the people that could not make it are also getting some really fun stuff on our page. I also send them a picture text for them to forward to their friends. I tell them they can post it on social media, they can email it, or they can post it anywhere, really. And really it's for texting out to their friends. And lastly, I mail them labels with all their party info on them to stick to the 25 mini catalogs or the postcards or the winter pamphlets, whatever I give them when they book their party. So I just give them a sheet of labels and they can stick it on all of their stuff. And I'm going to give you guys all this stuff I'm talking about after the webinar. Okay, so you'll have my actual labels, you'll have all this stuff, especially all of this stuff. So I use apps like RedStamp or PicCollage to create eye-catching pics that your host can easily text, email, or post to social media. So the bottom 2 are actually on RedStamp, super easy to use. You just have to find a picture you like, upload it, and then create your text. And then all you have to do is change the date and the address for each one. Super simple. The other 2 I created in PicCollage, and that's really easy too. You just have to get creative with it, upload photos, add some text, and you can just change out really the middle piece and then just the host name. Sound good? Any questions about this stuff? Any questions so far? Am I covering everything you guys want me to? Okay, good. Yay! Okay, so another piece of host coaching is talking about the business opportunity. And on my last call, my team kind of went silent on this whole subject. So let's see how this goes. So most people have to hear something 4 or 5 times before they really hear it, okay? It's actually a proven study. So this especially applies when talking about our amazing opportunity, okay? So if you guys want to unmute yourself, tell me when you talk about our opportunity with your host. Anybody? Anybody talk to your host about the opportunity? Crystal does.
I usually I usually give it a couple of days. I do it usually by the second day I'll start talking to them.
Okay. The second time you talk to them about their party, you're telling them about it?
Yeah, because I'll usually private message most of my hosts. I do private message them every morning and just tell them, give them a little inspiration and tell them where they're at. And then I start kind of talking about it to them.
Okay. Anybody else?
I've been doing it the day after they book a party.
That's good.
And just kind of giving them incentive to know what they build up to earn the kit credit.
That's good. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. How about all of these? So when they book their party, are you, and you know, this may not be something you're used to, or maybe you've never heard of this, but when they book their party, I always say to them, hey, if you want to do this party and you've ever thought about joining the team and making a little bit of extra income, getting all these products, why don't we still do your party? You could sign up now, and it can be your grand opening party. It'll be your grand opening. You could be the host. You could be the consultant. You'll get paid. You'll get all the free stuff. You know, just an idea. Just throw it out there. Also, you can, well, okay, at the party. So let's just say you're at their party and 4 people book. And you're like, holy smokes, Susie Q, all these friends of yours want to do parties. Who else would want to do a party if Susie Q over here decides to join the team and she can do all your parties? I mean, she could have like 5 or 6 parties before you even leave. Just saying, and then you can use the kit credit. What about a couple days before the party? You could still call them and say, hey, you know, your party's coming up in a couple days. Have you thought about joining the team? We could still do your party. We could sign you up. You could get your consultant number in time. I'm still coming. You're on my calendar. So you can be the host and the consultant. Or talk about the kit credit. Obviously, it's a great deal. So after the party, while you're at the party, right before you're getting ready to leave, you can say, hey, you know, that is one of their host rewards. So a lot of people think you only have 4 host rewards: the free, the half price, the discount, and the future party pick. But the 5th one is the kit credit. That, if you're not offering the kit credit, you're totally missing out. You are not giving them all of their rewards. So tell them, hey, have you ever thought about joining the team? You can get all these amazing products plus your very own business for $59. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? I'm just saying. You can also call them or text them for the first time when you first book their party. You can call and text them and tell them about the kit credit. So you make sure you're coaching them to that $300, $400, $500 level to get at least $50 for the kit. And then also while they're closing out the kit credit. So these are all different ways. Did you just see how there's more than 5? Any questions? You guys good? Am I doing good? Okay, good. Anybody overwhelmed? No? Let's recap. So what have we just discussed is probably the most crucial in your host coaching process, because it gets them excited. It gets them thinking about their wish list, who they will invite, what excites them about the party, and if they want to be a consultant at their party and earn all the free discounts, plus a paycheck, right? So far you've handed out a packet or mailed it. You went over it with the host and set up some expectations. There's some background noise. If you have some background noise, just go ahead and mute yourself. You set up on the website, emailing her from the website. You set up on Facebook if you decided to do that. And you've also invited her to join your team. So the week of the party's almost here. What are you doing? So the week of the party, you're going to call and finalize them, finalize numbers with them, and check on them and see if they need anything else from you. Have you offered an extra item? So sometimes I will offer them an extra item if they collect like $250 in orders before the party. You can offer them a free seasoning or a spice, or if you get a couple bookings before the party, you can offer them an extra incentive. So have you offered that to them? It really does increase the show average. You can also offer things like, I will bring the ingredients for the lava cake when you have 12 or more RSVP yes, or 15, or whatever your number is. This is just a picture text that'll be in my notes to share with you guys that I send to my host the day before or 2 days before her party. And I say, hey, I'm so excited about your party. I normally say, I'm super pumped about your party. So here's a picture you could send out to your friends as a reminder. And they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. When you take that off their plate and give them something to just throw out their door to friends as a reminder, or if you're giving them invites or whatever you're doing, that is less pressure on them and more likely to refer you to their friends. I get that. That is probably the number one reason why people book parties, because I make it so simple for them to book parties. All they have to do is invite their friends and get the ingredients. I mean, I literally take care of mostly everything else. And then they have to remind everybody. I'm doing a countdown on their Facebook party. I'm doing all this stuff. But that all actually adds up to a great party. That's why I have like a $900 show average. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying this works. This stuff works. So when you have a system in place, it really works. We're going to talk about systems too. Okay, so it's all about the host. After the show is over, sit down with your host and be certain she knows what level she is at. Are you doing this with your host before you leave her house? And then tell her what the next 3 levels are. Because she could collect another $500 in orders, but does she know what's in it for her if she does that? No matter what kind of party you just had, make sure you're smiling, you're gracious, and you're appreciative. Nobody likes a sad or mad pampered chef consultant. Nobody likes a disgruntled pampered chef consultant, right? Always help her make up a list of everyone who did not make it to the party while it's still fresh in her mind, and set a target date to close out the party. Put that appointment in your calendar. So I do that before I leave every host's house. I try to close my parties within 48 hours, or I normally close parties on Mondays, because normally my parties are Thursday or Friday. So I try to close them on Monday nights. So I'll say, okay, I'm going to call you on Monday at 7 p.m. And I put it in my calendar. So they know, gosh, I have to be ready with my list, with all my outside orders and everything by Monday at 7 p.m. because that's when we're going to close. So then you could immediately go, after the party, go to the Facebook event and change the date to reflect the closing date. So everybody in the party can still see all the posts in the event. You can continue to make posts on Facebook Party, the event wall, to remind them to put their order in. With 2 more days, 1 more day, last day to post your, get your order in. And then you can also, this can also help with you get even more orders. People are super, if you give them, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain is fried. I'm going to keep going. It's all about the host, okay? So if you create that sense of urgency, that's what I wanted to talk about. If you create that sense of urgency, people are more likely to order right away because you're like, oh gosh, I could, you know, if somebody, okay, let's just think about this. If you're going to get like an email and a sale is happening at Winter Loft, favorite store in the world, and it's ending at 5 p.m., like you better bet your butt I'm on that website at 4:45 ordering my stuff so I can make sure I get in on that deal, or I can make sure I get my order in. So if you give them that date and that time, they will, all those orders will start coming in, I promise. Okay, anybody have any questions before we move on? Everybody good? Is this good stuff? Give me a thumbs up if you're learning something. Okay, good. Yay. Okay, so create a system. So depending on how many shows you're doing each month, hopefully it's 6 to 8 because that is what successful consultants are doing to promote to director. This may be done over a couple days, or you may be able to do it all in one day. But whatever you decide, create a system and stick to it, right? So who has a system? Anybody have a system for host coaching that you're using? Is it working, and are you sticking to it? Anybody want to share? How many people are on this thing? 4, 8, 12, hold on. 16, 20 people, and nobody has a system? Crazy town. Calling your bluff. All right. Well, I'm going to give you some. You ready? Okay. Oh, look, I messed it up now. Oh, shoot. Did I do that right? Hold on. Okay, good. I'm in the right one. Okay, so here's an example. So this is part of my system. And I'm going to share these, all of this stuff with you guys after the call. So you'll have everything. So this is just an example. So instead of calling and talking to the host on the phone, I actually mail them host letters and I text them because that is the way that I found most of my hosts communicate. Okay, so if you are calling somebody and they are not calling you back, it's because they don't like to talk on the phone. Okay, so some people only text. Like, it's so funny. Sometimes I'll call somebody and they're texting me as I'm calling them. And I'm like, really? Can't you just answer the phone? But no, they don't. They just continue to text. So if somebody isn't on Facebook, but you're messaging them on Facebook and it's going to their other folder, it's because they're not on Facebook. They're never going to write you back. So you got it. That's why it's so important when you book your party to find out how they communicate. Okay. So I mostly call, I don't call, I mostly text and send these letters out. The first letter goes out when they book their party. It's just an awesome letter that I probably got from somewhere else and just kind of made my own. The second one goes before, and then the third one goes out a week before the party, and then I send a text a couple days before. As soon as I create their party, if you see on that little list, I send them a picture text with their invite, and I also send them one of our postcards, and I have a little thing that says, it says host, and I say, it's time to invite your friends. And that goes out like 3 weeks before the party as well. So this is just something that I do. And then I also create a folder for every host with the checklist. And I have the labels, and you guys you'll all have it. And then at the party, I put all the receipts from all my guests into the folder, and then I keep the folder for 2 years. So if that host rebooks, I just use the same folder. But then after 2 years, if they don't rebook, I just reuse the folder. So I'll just put labels over that stuff, and I'll just reuse it. So once again, I'll provide the link with my entire system that I use in the notes, okay?
Hey, Christina.
Yes.
When you say you're mailing things out, you're talking about like snail mail, right?
Yes, girl, look.
And you find that they respond. I'm finding that less and less people check their mail because of automated bill pay and everything like that. Are you letting them know ahead of time to expect them, and then you find that they check the mail?
When they book their party, I tell them, hey, I'm going to send you tomorrow. I'm going to print off and I should have done this before, but it'll all be in the notes. But I tell them, I say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to mail you a sheet of labels for these mini catalogs and winter flyers I just gave you. I'm going to send you a label to stick right there so you can hand them out, keep them in your purse, whatever. And yeah, so they know something's coming. And it's funny because they all get it, because in one of them it says, okay, it's time to let me know what you decide that you want to make, because I give them all a sheet of all the different recipes that I do. So they pick which one they want, and they have to call. And it's funny, they all kind of email me around like a week before, and I email them. I just have one today for next Thursday. They just email me what they want, and then I email them the ingredient list. So yeah, they know it's coming. So this slide that's up, though, this is one of my directors. She took my letters that I do, and she created pictures in RedStamp with the actual. So this is kind of what my letters say, but she put them in pictures. So she actually texts them all.
Cool. All right. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 1 week out. And the pictures that I'm going to share with you in my notes, they don't have her information. She took them off for us so we could share them. Isn't that nice of her? So nice. Okay, so there is no wrong or right system, okay? Just create one that works for you, stick to it, and do it. That is the key, okay? So you have to do something. If you're not doing any host coaching, it's probably showing in your sales, in your recruiting, and in your shows. Are you getting a lot of cancellations? Are you getting a lot of reschedule? Like, are you getting people that say, oh, let's just push it out another week? You know, you want to make them know that this is a business. Like, you're running a business. And if you have to cancel, I need to know 3 weeks before. And it's in the bottom of one of my letters. And I promise you, I probably have maybe 5% maybe cancel or reschedule, and it's only because there's a family emergency, something has happened. But mostly everyone keeps their show date. And I'm booked through January. I have a few dates left in December. But it works, okay? So Consultants Corner, the best way to keep track of your host coaching and knowing what to say and when to use the host, what to say next is to use the host coaching checklist. So there's lots of information on Consultants Corner. It's going to be part of your homework. But you can go on there. There's a wonderful tool that was created by Home Office to keep you on track for success. So if you don't have the words to say, they are there for you. So you can go to Consultants Corner, just type in host coaching, it'll lead you right there. Okay, so call 40 minutes, yes. So call to action. So check out all the different systems in the notes that I'm gonna show you or share with you after the call, and decide which one or more will you put into action. Will you start just maybe doing letters? Will you start just trying out some texting? Something, try something. If you have a system that is working, don't do a thing. if it's not broken, don't fix it. But I will say, if you add something to your system, take something out of your system. You don't want to make it too cumbersome. You want to keep it simple, keep it duplicatable, very simple. Practice what you'll say to the host when she books a party. So what are you going to say to the host? Are you going to call her? Are you going to text her? Are you going to email her? Are you going to send her a letter? What are you going to do and practice it? Make a 24-hour call with every host on your calendar and continue to make 24-hour calls from now on. And a 24-hour call is from Home Office. It's on the website under the Director-Bound Consultant Resources for week number 3. Continue to make your 15 contacts a week outside the party. So your power hour, your booking and recruiting, to a vendor event. That'll get you right out there. And then there's an audio training for this week. It's called Make It Impactful with Laura Antical and Diana Feller. And it's also in that same spot on Director Bound. So here's some inspiration for you. Few of us doubt that Michael Jordan is the greatest player ever to play the game of basketball. Of course, this is impossible with a born talent, but it isn't sufficient. Jordan was also the hardest worker with an impressive perfectionistic, is that a word? Perfectionistic attitude. It's late, you guys. Who kept on improving his game. So what has triggered him to work harder than anyone else? Which sparkle gave him a determination to be the best? There's an interesting story about MJ described in a book on him, Michael Jordan, A Life Above the Rim. As a freshman in high school, Jordan joined his school basketball team in varsity. 1 year after joining the team, he was cut from the basketball team, but only pushed him to work harder and at perfecting his game. As he later described in his biography, I think that not making the varsity team drove me to really work at my game and also taught me that if you set goals and work hard to achieve them, hard work can pay off. I knew I never wanted to feel that bad again. I knew exactly where I wanted to go, and I focused on getting there. As I reached those goals, they built on one another. I gained a little confidence every time I came through. I really believe that this event triggered Michael Jordan to become the best player ever. Without being cut from his high school team, I don't think we would be discussing Jordan 15 years after his basketball career. So never, ever, ever, ever give up. And there's always something to be thankful for. Just saying. Host coaching takes practice. Give it some time. Do it for every host and watch your business soar. I love this picture. The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. And then this is my other favorite I had on. Don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. So true. We are so quick to compare ourselves to others, but we all have different stories. We all have different adversity going on in our lives. We all have different backgrounds. We all live in different places, so don't ever, ever, ever compare yourself to somebody else. And that is the end of my time. Anybody have questions? Nobody? I'm going to stop sharing.
Christina, can you post those quotes to the page as well, please?
I sure can.
Thanks. You're amazing.
I try. Yay, there I am. Yeah, of course. And I have this Evernote that I will and I wanted to share one thing really quick before you go. Let me share again. There we go. Oh, okay, let's bring this back over here. So those of you, some of you may be doing, what's it called? Facebook parties. I didn't mean to laugh. My brain is fried. So really quick, this is the link to the host coaching. This is the link to my stuff on my website. And then these are the documents to the Google Drive that I have for all of my letters and all that stuff. But this is a great picture to send to your host. A lot of my hosts actually do their order themselves. And then Pampered Chef will actually email you when the host has submitted their order. It's really cool. And then this is another one for Facebook parties. This is the one I wanted to tell you guys about. So this is a great picture to send to your host of your Facebook party. And then this is another picture kind of like this one, but this is just another one. These are just great pictures. There's Allison's stuff without her without her name. And then there's some just examples of that stuff. And then the slideshow is at the bottom. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. All right, stop share. Anybody else have any questions?
This is Julia. Do you find that it's better to host coach on the phone, or would you say that it's better for you and your hosts via text or email?
I personally text a lot. I do send them like a video after their show or after their Facebook event, after we close it out. I didn't share all that stuff with you guys, which I could totally share pictures and stuff, but I'll share a video or I'll send them a video after their party, and it's like 45 seconds. Like, hey, Crystal, I'm so thankful for you. Thank you so much for hosting a party on Facebook tonight. It was so much fun. I had a blast with your friends. I hope you enjoy all the new products, and let me know if you need anything in the future. Something fun, especially Facebook, because it's so not personal, even though it is kind of personal. But and you could also send a text that way. You could video text your friend or your host too. Also, after the party, I just send them a picture. It says, happy day, your order's on the way, and it's a picture of me holding Pampered Chef products or Pampered Chef boxes. So as soon as I get that email that the order has shipped, I send them a picture, and it says, your order's on the way. But I really find that texting, it's just the way that I communicate with a lot of people. And I'm not just saying, I'm 35, but my host today was 65, and she texts better than I do. So it's not even an age thing. It's just the way things are. And occasionally I'll get a host that calls me, but it's very rare. So it's really up to you and your host. Anybody else? Great question.
You talked mostly about live parties, live cooking shows, and host coaching.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like you might be sharing some things about Facebook host coaching. I think that's a spot where I have totally dropped the ball on virtual parties. So I'd be interested to hear just a little bit about what you think about that.
Yeah. So there is that picture I shared for virtual parties. It'll be in the notes. Really treat them kind of like you do your live party. I normally send my hosts, Facebook hosts, a catalog the Join Us, whatever the heck it's called now, a business card, a mini catalog, and some of the winter flyers. So I send them all that stuff. I create my virtual parties with Post My Party. And my Post My Party has a lot of pre-posts that come up like 5 days before the party, 4 days before the party, 3 days, all of that. And I'm constantly talking to them, like if I go to their show and I see they've only invited 20 people, I'll be like, hey, make sure you invite at least 50. We want to make sure this is a great party. I want you to get all your fun, all your favorite things. There's a post in the pre-party post that says, what's your favorite product? Crystal, why don't you share with us what product you want to get on this party? Just different ways to kind of get the host interactive. I know a lot of people out there do just virtual parties, and they are probably host coaching the heck out of their hosts to make most of the posts on the party, because Facebook actually, if you have 50 people on a Facebook party, and let's just say 10 of them RSVP, and none of them are your friends, like you're not actual Facebook friends with them, they're more likely to see posts that their host or your host will post rather than what you post. So sometimes you could send your host a picture or some verbiage and say, hey, could you go ahead and post that on your party for me? And their friends are more apt to see it. If they don't RSVP yes to the party, they don't see anything. So that's why at the beginning of the party, I always tell the host, hey, tag all your friends, make sure they're here, make sure they're partying with us, that kind of thing. I'm sure there's more out there on virtual parties, but I mainly do live cooking parties. But I did three virtual parties tonight because my virtual parties are 30 minutes. So I did one at 7:30, one at 8, and one at 8:30 because I knew I'd be in my office. So I was like, sure. So that was exciting. I have a bunch of emails, so hopefully orders came through. Anyway, yeah. Does that help?
Christina, you said earlier that you only do shows or mostly do shows on Thursday and Friday. Are those your show dates? You don't work on the weekends?
Girl. Yeah, so I like my weekends. When I quit my day job, I worked Pampered Chef around my day job for 5 years before I left my day job. And I worked Friday night, Saturday morning, and Saturday night every week. And it killed me. I was so tired. So when I quit my day job, I was like, I never want to do a weekend party again. I do parties on the weekends sometimes. I have some kids in the kitchen parties on a Sunday from 2 to 4. I do have vendor events that I do sometimes. I try to only do vendor events during the holiday season. I mostly give all those to my team because they need to meet new people, get out there, whatever. But I try to do parties during the week. I did a party today at an office at noon. And it's so much fun. Office parties are where it's at. If you don't work full time, you need to get in an office because they all show up because they're at work. It's amazing. So I offer that at my shows. I say, hey, does anybody here work in an office? And they're all raising their hand. Do you guys all have a microwave? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I could come do fajitas for you at your office. So I book a lot of those too. But I normally do Thursday night and Friday night. During October, November, December, I will do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just to get them all in because I don't know how to say no. So,
well, yeah. Obviously not how to say no if you're saying no to Saturday, Sunday, because I have a hard time. So
yeah, you know what I say to them, even though this may or may not be the truth, I say to them, you know what? Saturdays are super busy for people. They go to birthday parties, they have soccer, they have sports, they have weddings, they have all these other things that they'd rather do than come to a Pampered Chef party. So I always tell them, my attendance on a Saturday for me personally is not very good. When I did do parties on Saturday and I did one in the morning and in the evening, those parties kind of combined to make like one regular party because the attendance was kind of low. Because I live in an area where I'm surrounded by water, so everybody goes to the beach on the weekend. So it's just what they do. So parties around here for me, I don't get them very often, but I will.
Stop showing off. You and your water, your fancy water.
It was 55 today, so whatever.
Oh, okay. It was 85
Well, I
here.
will share that through January is Thursday and Friday. Can you see that? So I only have Thursdays and Fridays available starting in 2017. But yeah, like, I mean, in December, I mean, I leave on the 16th for Birmingham for almost 3 weeks. So I have to squeeze them in beginning of the month whenever I can. But, and then Thanksgiving in November is kind of crazy. I go to town. So I just try to fit them in, but I try not to do weekend parties.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate you sharing.
Yeah, no worries.
And everybody, it's 11 p.m. for Christina right now, so we have
It's
to
okay. I'm drinking water.
join this. Like, you're awesome. Thank you.
I see my dog. Look at this. Can you guys see him? Ollie. Spread eagle. Can you see him?
Yes.
I don't see me. Oh, there I am. Ollie, what are you doing, buddy? I'm saying to these people. Okay. Whatever. Anyway. Any other questions? I don't mind. No?
Thanks, Christina. We really appreciate this. It was fun to hear from you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I'm glad
Yes,
to help.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys. Well, I'll post the recording and all the notes and stuff. Okay.
Thanks, Christina. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ollie's coughing it up. You okay?